speak of him with respect as often as you curse him.
Oh, I hate that hedgehog. That doesn't change the fact that he is a formidable adversary.
Sonic, am I a burden to you?
When this is over, I want to share that love with the world.
I'll admit, I do envy your lifestyle. Freedom to go where you want, when you want. So do it. Get out there and live a little. Maybe I could. First,
Are the key.
Won't let you do.
This is it. The big showdown.
Bring it on!
Cross these new frontiers with my life this fears. In my hands I hold the ones I love. Walk forward through the cold time. Always to new horizons.
you motherfuckers are not allowed to do that! The ending of Frontiers was the biggest pile of arse for what the game was. I mean, I still felt satisfied myself beating the game, as the joy I had from playing the entire game was enough for me to accept the ending. But we all know how it felt. What's that word? Oh yes, fucking rush. Sega's speciality, the only way that they know. Nah, but these dit lickers must be in debt or something, because actually doing good things, or at least letting good things happen, I promise you, that'll be more profitable than fisting each other in the boardrooms until one of you pulls some piece of shit out of your ass just to sell to the people that matter, aka your fucking customers, the loyal fans of this community, of this franchise that has been spat on too many fucking times, aka the people that give you fucking money! And yes, just seeing Supreme have multiple arms, to me it says a lot. They are changing the final boss, and seems they may also be changing the end of the story, because at the end of the day, you are not allowed to have a game where Sonic throws giant beasts into mountains, slices giants in half with their own weapons, and have the most orgasmic showdowns with titans, end with fucking space invaders. For some reason, being hyped has just made me more angry. At this point, it's the wait that's gonna fucking piss me off more than anything. But this honestly just feels legendary. How many other games out there were redeemed like this? Of course, for all we know, they will fuck it up again. But from things I've been told, the entire final island, script, Supreme, and the end are all supposed to be getting revamped. And not a single negative word about what part of the DLC has gotten to my attention yet, based on the files being data mined. And at this point, I have no choice but to believe and have all faith in Sonic Team. Because at the end of the day, the motherfucking spin dash ended up coming true, and it was amazing. But yeah, now I would actually recommend Frontiers to non-Sonic fans. I think you'd love it, especially on PC. To those unaware why this is so special though, I'ma just use this as an excuse to just rip into the endgame of Frontiers. The thing that I had all my hope and faith in. And it turned out to be the worst part of the game. I made a video a long time ago talking about how I think the endgame should be fucking fantastic when they showed Supersonic vs. Giganto for the first time in a trailer. To me, that meant a new super form at the end of the game. Didn't need to be Hypersonic, and the fact that we all know the name Cybersonic just goes to show what should have been. Everyone literally knows the name of a super form that doesn't even exist. But honestly, fuck you, Sega. Okay, so in terms of the story of the game, it was fantastic, mainly for dialogue, but as well as just being interesting and not being afraid of trying new shit while also appealing to longtime Sonic fans. This story of Frontiers feels like a giant paying of respect to this franchise instead of acting like Green Hill was the only thing Sonic did, and that the Dark Age games, or whatever you want to call them, didn't exist. Roger Craig Smith, in fact, you know what, fuck it, every voice actor was phenomenal. Just so much better. Tails' story arc is the sole reason I feel so positive for the future, acknowledging that his character has been shit, even mentioning how he fell when Infinite attacked and how he did nothing, like they have no fear, which I just love. Then you have the fact that each of the first three Titans single-handedly made Sonic cool again. And I made my whole video on that. You should watch it, link in the description. Everything about Frontiers, apart from cyberspace, that's been fixed now, so it's all good, was fantastic up until the end of the night fight. That boss was when the game peaked, and sadly, when you reach the top, sometimes the only way to go is down. First off, the cut to the next island. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure we are missing a scene here. Where the fuck did the Chaos Emeralds go? Also, we all know that Rhea, Kronos, and Aranos were meant to be one, but these fuckers split them up, and now there is just a giant hole in the story. How the fuck does Sonic go from Rhea to Aranos? They ended up being two separate islands. At least leave Aranos attached to Kronos so it doesn't feel like complete bullshit. Even more retarded, the Chaos Emeralds just magically ended up on Aranos. The problem there was the fact that the islands were split, so I'd like to hope in DLC 3 they will be put back together. Now, I enjoy a lot about Rhea, to be honest. The towers were fun to climb. It was some of the best platforming in the game. The thing that pisses me off is Rhea is gorgeous and its potential is just fucking wasted. It is empty as shit and was the first warning sign of the bad ending. 5 islands, my arse. I'm not ungrateful. We only have 4 islands. Just one alone is more content than the entirety of Sonic Generations, but it felt like misleading marketing and just makes me want to actually use every single face that works for Sega as a fucking toilet. But there is good in Rhea Island. Shutting down all the towers reveals the story of how the Ancients and the Chaos Emeralds ended up on Earth. When you take a step back, and I feel like I don't see enough people talking about this, realizing the game is basically the origin of the Chaos Emeralds, you just gotta think, how fucking cool is that? Makes me genuinely really happy as well, because in the stories, the Chaos Emeralds just haven't existed since Generations, but even in Colors, they weren't fucking there. But also the moments of Sonic struggling to keep going as he is basically dying, kind of inspiring. Sonic means a lot to people, and moments like these are why, and not shit like,
I've been looking for you, Baldy McNose.
the fact that Sage was just confused as she literally says,
How can you smile when you can barely stand?
because this motherfucker teaches us that no matter how hard things get, you have to keep pushing forward. Honestly, lads, never forget that. Eventually, the cyber corruption is too much for him, and he's left paralyzed. This whole cyber corruption has been going on in the game since the start. The worse it got, the more Sonic looked in pain in his idle animation. I think a cool continuity detail that should have been here, though, is Sonic in the game should have had the cyber corruption on him, like he does in the cutscene. And at this moment, the story should have peaked. This is it. Sonic should come back as Cyber Sonic, right? Motherfucker, right? Wait. What are you doing? No. No. No, 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 no! Fuck you! Literally the biggest ass pull of the century. He turns black and these virgins just hold hands, and that's enough. Even more of a piss take is he just stumbles forward. This could have been slightly salvaged if Sonic wasn't standing still frozen. And when the bombastic riff of the main theme kicks in for a moment, he just trips forward and is fine. This was worse than the kiss scene in 06, because at least in that, everything else apart from the kiss is just an incredible scene, full of emotion, like what you would see in a movie. Also, there's the fact that Sage, the little cryptic shit, caused the biggest blue balls I've ever felt since the ending of Black Ops 4 Zombies. She's constantly talking about the end, the true enemy, saying how powerful it was. And once Sonic was fully corrupted, it breaks free from cyberspace. Here's where potential was wasted with Supreme, though. The end was binded to that Titan before it was sealed in cyberspace. What should have happened is that the Titan should have showed up, but have the end be talking through it, making it feel like it was alive and giving us an introduction to the Titan like the others, but also giving us an introduction to the end. Or maybe have the end take over Sage and have Eggman and Sonic have to team up to try and save Eggman's daughter. For a long time, I really wanted to make a video about how I would rewrite the end of Frontiers, and to be honest, I'll see about doing that maybe after DLC 3 is out. Aranos itself is standard. I mean, it's disappointing in other grassland, but it's not too bad. It's just given itself a weak impact with it not being original, but also being no different from the first island. The end is the same as the start. That alone means it feels like nothing. When you eventually get the last Chaos Emerald, it is time for the final battle, where you're reminded that, yeah, Eggman teamed up with you. You probably forgot that because he's done fuck all except probably been sniffing his own farts and getting erect over how they smell. Am I supposed to believe this was a team up, though? When Eggman just shows up with the last Chaos Emerald? Fuck off. And then Supreme as a Titan is just a white Giganto. Wait a fucking second. The final Titan of this game was white supremacy. But like, he pulls out this big gun, doesn't fucking use it, except for a quick time event where he once again pulls it out, and all that happens is Sonic deflects a bullet behind the button prompt in like .-6-7 frames, so you can't even see it happen. Also, where the fuck are you pulling this gun from? I know you ain't shoving that shit up your ass. And it doesn't help that this boss plays like how old people fuck. He may be a reskin of Giganto, but it would have been better if he literally was, because it would have been more fun. He has less health as well, which is just like, what kind of retarded idea was that? In order to actually attack him, you have to break one of these turret drone things, then get hit, which you can't parry at all. So the first time doing that, you might just think there's something wrong with the game. It doesn't feel finished at all. Then parry these lasers, which just doesn't feel satisfying in any way. Not like how when you parried missiles against the Wyvern. One reason is because it just takes fucking forever, and if you hit him without destroying a turret, he just glitches out and knocks you back. And yes, I know it's not actually a bug, but it looks like one. You see what I mean? And that doesn't even make him hard, it's just annoying. Supreme is that kid in school that is such a cunt they'd make Hitler dislike them, but as soon as they're in trouble, they get on their knees sucking off the teacher to be protected. Then phase 2 kicks in, and I've always been so annoyed by this shit. The lanky twat grows wings, but it has a fucking jetpack. So this does nothing, and also as soon as the cutscene is done, the wings are gone and the fight continues with almost no difference, except for the fact that you're hovering 4 feet above the ground. And then it's over, and the devs knew it was underwhelming. Sonic knew it was underwhelming, but for a moment, I was given hope, and I really wish I wasn't. Thought to myself, what's going on? Was the Titan a setup? Was it a troll? Did they make it so easy and shit and boring on purpose because it's not actually the final boss? Do my eyes deceive me? Or is there actually a true final boss? This is where Mike Pollock as Eggman also just shows so much emotion. I saw the end though, and for a few seconds, I was just so happy. Even more with Sonic's little speech, even though it makes no sense. He's talking to the Titan as if he's talking to the ancients piloting it, but he's not. He's talking to Sage. And plus Sage taking control of the Titan? Motherfucker, are we about to play as this thing? No. It's just Space Invaders. There's only one thing I enjoyed about this fight. Well, 2 things, because one's the music. The other is this part, where the orbs explode looking like fireworks. It just helps feel like you should be celebrating that you made it through this massive journey, even if it wasn't the best. But the end was hyped to be this unstoppable threat. Quoting Tails, something on par with Dark Gaia. The thing that literally wouldn't leave these poor ancients alone. Oh, you fuckers look happy. Yeah, it'd be a shame if something bad were to happen now, wouldn't it? And in a game where the boss fights were insane spectacles of absolute hype, no one would have thought it would end by shooting a purple circle that won't shut the fuck up. And no new super form, that alone just felt so weird to me. When you go super the first time to fight Giganto, it feels right. And they accomplished their goal with making the first boss feel like the final boss. But having Sonic be no different in the final battle, you created the problem of the final boss now just feeling like the first boss. Which is why Cyber Sonic literally had me screaming in the trailer. And fuck it, it may not even be Cyber Sonic, but it seems like his super form will be upgraded. And yes, Supreme literally only has more arms in the trailer. But to me, I think it'll kind of be like Carnage, where his arms can transform into loads of different weapons, which I feel like would suit the Titan so much more. Look, either way, big respect for them actually doing something to make the ending better. They legit could have left it as it is, and Frontiers' legacy would still be remembered as one of the best wins for the Sonic franchise. So however this DLC turns out, I just appreciate the extra effort they've been putting in. That's what I meant when I say the developers are on a mission to make Sonic worth being excited for again. Actions speak louder than words, and the effort feels like it's there, which is all I could ever ask for. Anyway, I've said all I want to for now. This wasn't meant to be the next video, but I couldn't ignore this shit. But that's all for now. Leave a like, subscribe, Sega are cunts, and cheers, lads! And until the next time, you have a good one.